All right. Getting started. All right. Welcome, everyone. Good morning to Morning Flow, your daily practice in the morning to get you started for the day. My name is Dr. Erica Steele. I'm a holistic doctor in family practice. I have 7 degrees in my field, all in the natural healthcare space. So welcome to our morning flow. We're going to do 15 minutes of movement. We're going to focus on really stretching out your myofascial in your neck and your chest and that sort of thing, especially if you sit behind a computer like me. And then we're going to do 15 minutes of meditation. This week we're talking all about the subconscious mind, so we'll have a related meditation. We'll do a little journaling and then we'll plan our day. So it's a nice, short, to the point, but very focused way to start the day and the way that I've started my day for many, many years. All right, so first things first, we're going to get some movement in. So we're just going to start with our breath. So go ahead and take a deep breath for me. To move all my hair out of the way. Big breath. And release. Actually, I'm just going to tie it up. Big breath for me. And release. One more time. Nice big breath. And release. All right. I think that will work for right now. All right. So we're going to start in, and we're actually going to do stretches on the neck. So go ahead and take a deep breath, and we're going to go up and then exhale down. So inhale and exhale down. And inhale and exhale down. And inhale. And exhale down. Perfect. Now we're going to go the left, right? Inhale, and then exhale to the right. So inhale, exhale to the right. 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 All right, so all this week we talk about the subconscious mind. So subconscious mind deals with your memory and your experiences. So I thought we would kind of work a little bit with your myofascial system, because we have this kind of thin sheet all around our muscles, and it really develops a lot of memory based off of how we're sitting, moving on a repetitive basis. And so we're going to do a little bit of work with that. All right, so we're just going to work on the neck here. So what we're going to do, so how we do myofascial is we do kind of nice opposing stretches. So I'm going to stretch here, right? So let's say if I go up, right? Then I'm going to stretch here, right? So we're going to do that on both sides, right? So we're going to inhale, stretch, exhale, So inhale and then exhale. And so you're pressing partially your chest, partially your shoulder. And you may feel the sensations in different places of your body. We're just stretching, again, our fascial system. And we're going to release. Now we're going to do it on the other side, right? We're going to pull down and just do that opposing stretch. And we'll feel it kind of, at least I feel it really in my neck there. And release. All right, so now we're going to do it again, but this time we're going to do a little bit of, hey, touted kisses. We're going to do good morning. We're going to do a little bit of tension with it. So when we do it again, we're going to do a little bit of resistance and then release out. All right, so we're going to go off to the right. We're going to put our hands there, right? And this time, just a little bit of tension, and be really ever so careful with your neck here. And release, right? And so we kind of had like a little crisscross going with our arms, really to get that tension. And you'll feel it because it'll feel like you'll feel a nice stretch, right? And you'll feel a deeper stretch. And then as you contract against, it'll actually help you expand. So even now, I can feel a lot more open on this side that I did it than this other side. All right, so let's go ahead and set ourselves up here. Nice, gentle resistance. Opposing sides. And then release, right? So nice and open here. All right, so we're going to do it just down the center. So we're going to extend, flex, right? And we're going to just open all this up here. And release, right? And so we don't even realize how much we hold on to and we carry, based off of our day, based off of our stress level, based off of our experiences. And so we definitely want to start our day with kind of checking in with our bodies, tuning in with our bodies and seeing what's going on, right? So we're doing that now. All right, so now we're going to move into the chest, and we're just going to go do a gentle opposing push, almost like a little massage till we get to your shoulder, and then we're going to open everything up here. Nice gentle opposing stretch with your neck. And release. All right, nice shoulder circle here to the back and then to the front. All right, we're going to do similar thing, this side, right? Nice and open. And I always like to kind of feel around to see where I need the stretch. And breathe in. And release, right? And nice shoulders. And to the front. All right, now both. All right, so now we're going to take both of our hands, kind of clasp them behind us, if you will. We're going to open up our chest here. We're going to use our arms to kind of be that counterbalance in our back. And we're going to open. Inhale. And exhale, release. We'll do that about 2 more times. Big inhale. Exhale, release. And one more time, big inhale. feels so good after you've been sleeping and resting all evening. Definitely to get, some blood flow in there indeed. All right. So we'll do a little bit of cat-cows and then we'll be done with our stretch for the day. So go ahead and put your hands on your knees. We're going to go up and down. So a big inhale into cow and exhale into cat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. All right, now pull just a little bit more on your knees just to give your back a nice gentle stretch, especially since we did so much on your front already. And release. All right, good. All right, so just a nice simple stretch, really designed to do it right as you wake up. It's really just about moving your body, getting blood flow in your body, not necessarily, just falling out of bed and starting your day, but having more of a practice of it. All right, cool. So now we're going to do a meditation. So the subconscious mind, again, is what we're going to be talking about all this week, and it deals with your previous experiences, perceptions of those experiences, beliefs, as well as core beliefs. Hey, MAGA. And so it really deals with a lot of muscle memory, but a lot of times you can become shocked when things happen, especially when things happen unexpected. And so the shock, because something happened I didn't know, right? But a lot of times it'll bring you back to, the past, and so, or trigger a previous experience, etc. So what we're going to do is we're going to find kind of our breath in the moment when we get stressed. So nice, gentle 3-minute meditation here, but we're going to really focus on more of our breath and numbers. So 4, 7, 8, right? So we're going to inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8, right? Take your hands, just kind of clasp them right in front of you, kind of hug your sides, right? Big inhale. And exhale, we'll do that 2 more times. Big inhale. And exhale. And one last time, big inhale. And exhale. So now I'm going to count for you. So you're going to inhale for 4, hold for 8, or sorry, 7. 1, 2, 3. And exhale for 8. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. And then continue, inhale for 4. So when we're focusing on, and I'm going to speak a little bit, so keep your timing, is that when we start to, get into kind of like a manic state or a fearful state, it's really good to get your mind to focus on something. And so the numbers can really help. And so we tend to want to do this for 10 rounds. We did about, you're probably on 5, 6 by now. And so we do about 10 rounds of this, right? If you, let's say, forget, you actually want to start over. And the purpose is really to focus the mind in on the moment that you're dealing with, because you've got to focus on the 4, then the 7, then the 8, and then, it's easy to kind of lose track if your mind is wandering. So I'll go ahead and work on the last 2 with you. You should be there. So inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8, hold for 4, or inhale for 4, sorry, hold for 7, exhale for 8. And we'll do just one more just to be nice and clean. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. Perfect. All right, good. So, it's a way, again, this 4, 7, 8 is a way to really begin to re-regulate your nervous system, especially in the moment if you're shocked, afraid, stressed, etc. Right? Really good way to just bring you back down, because when you're triggered by a people, places, situation, circumstance, or event, right? What happens is that nervous system begins to get into more of a fight or flight state, because it's going into a protective mode, right? We talked about the primitive mind all last week. And because it's in this protective mode, you've got cortisol pumping, you have epinephrine, you have norepinephrine, activated. So, this breath can begin to bring that system down a bit and say, wait a second, everything is good, right? Okay, so now for a couple minutes, I want to focus on, let's say you have a situation, a circumstance, or an event that is stressing you out, right? And you don't know what to do, and you don't know what to do, and you don't know what to do, right? So this is where the practice of surrender comes in handy so much. However, people, either they don't have access to surrender at the moment, or people can be really stubborn, or not want to let go and be afraid and all kinds of things, right? And so this is a really good practice when you recognize, because a lot of times we don't recognize that we're holding on. When you begin to recognize, wait a second, I'm holding on to this. So how you would recognize it is you keep thinking about it. You can't stop, you can't let it go. You're trying to do, this or that. But it always just seems to kind of come back to this problem that you have. Again, whether it's with a person, a place, situation, circumstance. So you kind of have a choice in the matter. Either you can keep kind of obsessing over it, which is a lot of times what people do when they feel powerless or they don't have control, or you can practice this little simple practice that I'm going to teach you that will help you kind of give it away, right? So in this instance, I'm going to use an archangel, Michael. Now, Michael, he's really good for healing and things like that. So that's why I'm using him. Now, I'm not Christian by any stretch. However, I pretty much will use anything that I can, in order to heal. And so this is a practice that I learned in reading Gabby Bernstein's book, The Universe Has Your Back. So that book is filled with lots of practices to really help really you just kind of take back ownership and agency, especially if you feel like the world is kind of against you. So really good tips in that book. So this is one that I learned from that. So in this case, we're going to use Archangel Michael. You can use anybody that you want, that you feel most comfortable connected to. Really, it's just about somebody, something that you trust bigger than yourself, right? Whether it's God, angels, etc. It doesn't matter, right? Okay, so now that you got that, so what we're going to do is we're going to inhale, and we're going to set up a little bit, but we're going to get settled into the people, places, situation, circumstance, or event that we have going on, and we're going to visualize that, right? So we're going to get it in our mind's eye, what's going on, and we're going to face it, right? And then what we're going to do is I'm going to walk you through, and we're going to hand that over to whomever. So we're going to put it in Michael's basket. I love that, this kind of visualization, putting it in his basket and then having him kind of fly and take it back wherever he takes it back to. I don't know. I'm a creative person, so, it really helps to kind of visualize these things, and especially it gives you something else to focus on. All right, so we'll do that, and then I'll kind of teach you what happens if you still can't kind of let it go. All right, so go ahead and take a deep breath. Big inhale, exhale down. Big inhale, exhale down. All right, visualize, imagine, picture, and pretend with your logic, your voice, your reason, your very keen, specific decision making that you are standing right where you are. And you're looking out right where you're at. And as you look out, you see the person, the situation, the circumstance, or the event that needs your focus, that needs your attention, that's so desperate to be solved that it absolutely needs you to pay attention to it right now. And as you see this person, people, situation, circumstance, or event, as you see it come into your mind's eye, I want you to say to it, I see you. And not only do you see it, I want you to say, repeat after me, I honor you. And take a deep breath. And repeat after me, thank you. Big inhale. Repeat after me, forgive me. Big inhale. Repeat after me, thank you. Big inhale. Repeat after me, I'm giving this back to you. Big inhale. And now we're going to visualize, imagine, picture, and pretend with our logic, our voice, our reason, our very keen and specific decision making, Archangel Michael, or anyone that you feel is pertinent in the etherical realm, whether that is an angel or God or consciousness or whomever. We are going to visualize this entity bringing out a nice big basket, and we are going to scoop up our problem, our solution, all of the answers that we've been looking for. We're going to scoop it all up and we're going to put it in the basket. And big inhale, repeat after me, I honor you. And with a nice little bow, we're going to watch and allow our basket to be taken away with all of our stress, all of our anxiety, all of our worry, and all of our fear. We're allowing ourselves to detach from our uncertainty, our powerlessness, our fear, our anxiety. Big inhale. And now we're left with our confidence, our self-assuredness, our sense of peace, our sense of happiness, our connection, our love, our integrity, our grace, our forgiveness, our peace, our calm, our glory. Big inhale and exhale. Big inhale and exhale. Big inhale and exhale. And just visualize, imagine, picture, and pretend one last time this big, just ethereal light of peace enveloping your soul, caressing your spirit, supporting the very essence of your being right here, right now, soothing you on a very deep level. And with a big inhale, repeat after me. I'm confident. I'm self-assured. I'm connected. I'm honored. I'm grateful. I'm peaceful. I love. I touch. I feel. I breathe. I stay. I stay. I stay. Big inhale. And big inhale just up to the top. Bring your breath all the way into your head until you feel almost full, and then sip in just a little bit more air. Then just a little bit more air. And then just a little bit more air one last time until you feel like you're going to burst. And with a big exhale and loud sigh, release. And allow that calm to just simply wash over you, ever so gently, ever so gracefully. Nice. Yay. Eyes open, wide awake. Eyes open, wide awake. All right, perfect. So that's how we pretty much let go, release. Now, here's what happens, right? Even though we may feel good about it right now, it may creep back in. And so here's what I do with my mind. I go, wait a second. Nope, that's been handled. And I put it back in the basket. And really quick, I don't have to do the whole thing again. I just go, nope, it's in the basket. And I just put it back in the basket. So hopefully that helps as we're kind of bringing in some of the old this week. All right, so grab your journal. I encourage you not to write about what we just discussed, but more so, I want you to write about who you are now, right? So we don't want to go and open back up. I know it's tempting. We want to open it all back up and see what's going on. But in this journaling exercise, I want you to really write from the person that you are now. And this is a practice called scripting. So we're going to be scripting how it is that we want to feel and embody this newfound sense of calm and peace that we have into our day. So this is the start of a new week, the start of a new day. So we definitely want to be in our power. We don't want to give our power away. So now that we've taken our power back and we are more mentally, emotionally, and spiritually connected, we're going to journal from that perspective. Right? So what we're going to do is we're going to write it from wouldn't it be great if, right? So sometimes, again, the mind gets a little sticky. So we say these prompts to kind of help us, right? So wouldn't it be great if, right, my day was totally smooth, right? Wouldn't it be great if I was in and out of all the errands that I needed to get done and I was back home in plenty of time? Wouldn't it be great if my day of patience flowed so easily and gracefully and I was able to take care of everybody that I needed to take care of and get all of the things to them that they're asking for? Wouldn't it be great if I was able to get some of my tasks that I need to get done for my content and getting my events out for this week, etc.? So it's you're actually kind of creating your day, right, with this statement. But you're really focused on not in the moment, right? But more so you're projecting it, meaning you're creating it in the future. So we're kind of playing around with this time-space continuum this week because unfortunately with the subconscious mind, a lot of the time-space continuum gets lost. And so we'll talk more about that later. But wouldn't it be great if is your prompt. So I really love this prompt too because it does encourage this kind of magnetism, this curiosity again, and it's great to do right after a meditation because then you're just kind of joyous. So you can do it around your day, which I definitely recommend because then you have kind of a short lever. You can see the results faster, right? But you can do it on your week, your month, or, on something particular. Don't do it on the same thing that we talked about though. Let that go. We're on to greener, brighter, happier pastures. Um, so then from there, we kind of create and manifest and really live into. And so we want to speak from two perspectives. We want to speak from our thoughts, right? So wouldn't it be great if, right? And then our feelings. So I felt, happy, excited, whatever, right? So there is a connection with how you want to feel. It's not just about the tasks or the to-do list or the result, but it's really more so embodying how you want to feel as you are developing this new reality that you find yourself in. So that is how we kind of bring things forward, is through our feelings. So if you're disconnected from your emotions, it will create a little bit of a challenge. Also, too, let's say you bring some emotions up and it doesn't quite fit what you're thinking and feeling at the time. That is your old beliefs that are coming up, which we're going to really talk about this week, and we're going to talk about what we do to clear those up. So I'm going to recommend that for this week, you have two journals. You have a trash journal and a treasure journal. So we're going to separate these journals. Your trash journal is going to be all the negative stuff that's about to come up that we're going to start taking up. And so that's going to be trash. And then our treasure is going to be all of our creations and what we want to create in our day. So it's important for us to begin to organize those in the mind. And so thank you so much, Naga. So we want to organize those in the mind. So we've got the old with the trash, and then we're going to have the new with the treasure, right? So they don't want to cross. We don't have them in the same thing, because usually with like the trash journal, at a certain point, we're going to throw it away, or we're going to burn it, or we're going to bury it, or we're going to do something physically with it. And also it's not something you're going to go back and reread. But your treasure journal has all the things, and you can keep that, and that's your kind of keepsake that you can look back at, right? Because a lot of the trash that's coming out of your subconscious, it's just that, it's trash. It's not really anything you want to go back and reconsume. You just want to get it out and throw it away as quickly as possible, because it's not going to serve you in any way. So just so we're clear about that. So definitely work on that for this week, because we're going to be working in the subconscious mind, which is your perceptions, your experiences first off, your perceptions of those experiences. So we'll get into the story versus what actually is, your beliefs that are developed based off of those perceptions. So what you believe to be true in life, your morals, your values, etc. And then your core beliefs, which these are very specific to you, but they are almost woundings in a lot of ways. They can be anyway. Most people, these are wounded in the beginning. So it would be like a core belief could be, I am important, but also a core belief could be, I'm not important, right? And so, these are messages and cues that we get really from our experiences, perceptions of those experiences, our beliefs and core beliefs. So these are not always, factual or reality, because this is based off of how you perceive. So, however you perceive things at that time, and the story you made it up based off of how you felt at the time, is typically how that gets cemented in. So, we'll unpack that, and we'll get into that. So that'll be fun. So, all right. Wouldn't it be great if the day went by super efficiently, productively, easily, effortlessly? Yeah, all the things, right? Wouldn't it be great? So spend just another few minutes just kind of jotting things down. And I like to kind of remove time and pressure barriers off of things. So this is like more of an introduction. And again, this is in your treasure journal, going through and, adding to it throughout the day can really be an efficient practice to bring you back to this kind of positive way of thinking, especially when, different things happen externally. It can help drown it out. So this will be kind of an ongoing practice that we do. All right, so for our final 15 minutes now, we're going to plan our day. So if you're still journaling, continue journaling. I'm just going to prompt for the day planning because they kind of go into each other and it'll kind of roll into the same thing. So remember, with our day planning, we're intending our day, but we're also being realistic with ourselves. We're choosing 3 to 5 things to accomplish in our day, but we're telling our time what to do every day. We're starting with prioritizing self. So we're going to put, naturally we have this, then, like for me, I have to run out today, but normally I would do an hour of physical fitness and exercise. I'd have a little bit of protein, then I'd start my patient day, or if it's Tuesday, Thursday, I have my work. So I have a checklist. Oh yeah, great. Also too, I have put the checklist on my link in my bio. So whatever platform you're watching me on right now, whether it is TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, or Instagram, the link is already in my bio, and it's the Holistic Mindset Checklist or Planner. If you don't see it, feel free to shoot me a DM and I'll send it to you. But it's a great planner that helps you to keep these things organized every single day. So I typically work from more of a quarterly perspective. So a 12-week, I'll have like 12-week structure. So I'll start with that. But I have an annual, then quarterly, then monthly, then weekly, but I break it down into 12-week cycles. So yeah, right, Naga, I know. Yeah, it's going to be wild. I'm on all the platforms. So, and Fanbase is actually supposed to be kind of similar to TikTok. I kind of wanted to check out Fanbase, but I haven't been able to like pull all of my content over yet from TikTok. So I'll work on that this week, seeing as how, we are where we are. Hopefully not, but, I always say these things are above my pay grade. I do what I can and then whatever else. So, so we're just structuring our day. And, again, we're prioritizing our meals in there. Notice I haven't put my work in there yet because I want to make sure that I fit myself into my day, right? So often we're unconscious about what needs to get done. And so what we do is we will unconsciously go through our day, and then time gets away from us. And then at the end we go, oh man, I should have, I could have, I would have, I didn't, etc. Or you're not even aware of it, you're in total denial. So we want to really make sure that, oh cool, yeah, good to see you. We want to make sure that you have a set plan for your meals. I always say if you leave the house in the morning and you don't know what you're going to eat, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack, you're going to be doomed for the day. Like you're not, like, I know you want to think, oh, I'll just do this, or normally what happens is you'll just do the same thing that you always do. You'll default and, you'll be lost. So don't take my word for it. Try it out. Because I needed to try all the things out to see for myself. So I did, and now I know. You need to know, so you figure it out. But we really want to just make sure we're prioritizing ourselves in our day. We're going through all this efforting to plan our day, structure our day, the least we do. So this week we'll have some really simple videos that come out. I release about 4 standard videos on YouTube, long form, and then we have lots of short form content. But we'll do like some simple meal planning this week, how to stay consistent, fighting procrastination. So there's several different videos that we have coming out on YouTube that can really help you, with your mindset. And then this week as well, we have our live webinar. It's more of a mastermind. And so I'll put the registration link in the link in my bio. It's not in there yet. I think you can register through there, but I don't think it's like right at the top. So I'll put that link in there. You can watch our old webinars, but this one will be a live webinar, and the topic is all about transforming your mind and transforming your mindset. So we'll really get into it and break it all down. We'll talk about kind of the colonial aspect of it and how our healthcare system has kind of gotten to where we are, and then transition to what our current practices are, and then transition to what holistic practices are that you can do practically to really get started and really work on your mindset and ensuring that you're healthy. Because at the end of the day, right, even with therapy, even with different things that you may be doing for your health, ultimately these are coping skills, so you're still going to need them, right? It's not an either or. Like, we have to have coping skills, emotional resilience, emotional intelligence, self-awareness, these sorts of things, in order to have a healthy, balanced life. Like, even if you are on a psychotropic drug, most of the time you're flatlined, but meaning that you don't have any highs or lows, so you're just kind of melancholy, you still want to be looking and helping yourself heal, even if you are kind of on a temporary anesthetist, if you will, or temporary, because there is value in, let's say, a traumatic situation happens for a short period of time, right? There are natural things that one can do, but most people don't know those things. We'll slowly kind of unpack them. I don't get too much into, different things that you can take and that kind of thing, because the nervous system is very particular. But we will talk about your food. We will talk about, your basic health practices that you can do. And then I may incorporate some things. Magnesium, for instance, is an excellent thing to take. Nobody can go wrong with taking magnesium because it's stripped from our soils. So we'll do those, but sometimes when we get into, some of the chemical or the herbs that can shift chemicals, we want to be mindful, because if people are on psychotropic medications, and or every single case is so different, when we're dealing with the mind and we're dealing with how the mind is dealing with life, right? Because that's what it is. It's our, based off of our experiences, how is the mind handling all this stimulus? It's handling the mental aspect and the thought process, but then the emotional aspect. So Touted Kisses asked, does freeze mode equate to procrastination? Do you think it's the same, or both affecting the nervous system? Yes, exactly. So flight is actually kind of a procrastination, but freeze can also be a procrastination as well. And yes, it is the nervous system. It's just overwhelmed, right? There's too many message units, meaning like too many thought patterns and too many things happening all at once. And the nervous system can't process it, can't figure it out. And so it kind of, the prefrontal cortex kind of locks everything up, and it goes, okay, we can't do anything right now. We're not safe, right? So that primitive mind clicks on, and it goes into that fear mode. So our nervous system sends that signal out. We have naturally tension in our bodies when that happens. We are, a good example of this, and I'll try to pull the clip, is the LA mayor when she was getting off the plane and the media was like shoving cameras in her face, and she literally looked, again, that was freeze mode. Like, she didn't say anything. She couldn't talk. She couldn't really make eye contact. She was literally in her nervous system freeze mode. I think just because of probably how, everything is going down, and, when things are politicized when shouldn't be, etc. So, but it's interesting because, we take for granted that we still are human beings, right? And even if situations happen, we still can't negate our survival mode. We still cannot negate how our bodies and minds work. I know many people who are underdeveloped mentally or emotionally always want to leave that out of the equation, and they want us to be inhumane. They want us to see each other, as robots, right? Because that's how they see us, as robots, right? And who's they? Fill in the blank. I don't even know. Pick your oppressor today. I don't know. So, but what I'm saying is that, to be able to actually be human and not perform and not achieve and not have to pull it up by the boot, it's like, why can't I just be a human being today, please? And thank you. So hopefully in this space, in this hour that we create, we can actually practice being human. I don't know if the world will accept humanity quite yet. The world is going through a lot at the moment. To be continued, right? But we can really go into ourselves, and we can unsift and unpack the shame, the disappointment, the hurts, the struggles, the all of the emotional discomforts that we maybe were not able to fully acknowledge and fully really work through because we were in survival mode at that time. And so now we're in a different space, we're in a different time. It may be time for us to unpack, this situation or that situation or this relationship, etc. It doesn't, there's no timetable on it, but I will say this, that if you feel like you're forcing the issue, that's a no-go. Right. This isn't about force. This is actually about really pulling your power back, asking your power, pulling it back, and being in your power. And so being in your power is not misusing it, right? Being in your power is recognizing the truth about the experience, right? And what's the truth about it, right? There are lessons that you need to learn in that experience. There's lessons other people need to learn in that experience. And then there's a combination of what you're teaching each other. And so, that's the truth, right? It's not this binary of right and wrong and good and bad and all of these little boxes that we fixate and put ourselves in that really create more stress, more aggravation than what it's worth. So I try to feed my mind little shortcuts, keep it more at a rest state, trying to keep it more rest and then more in like a meditative state. That way, I'm less reactive, right, emotionally, and I can more so target when I have been triggered, right? Now, this is done over long time. So, when I first kind of started this practice with my mind and working with my mind, it was just a whole bunch of clutter. It was just a whole bunch of noise all the time. I thought I would never shut up. I thought it was just exhausting. And so when you begin to realize that your mind, if you will, is not really your mind, meaning that the thoughts that you are thinking all the time, you have a choice over. They are not like etched in stone somewhere or on some sort of magical scroll. Like, these are thoughts that are in the collective consciousness and or thoughts that you are self-creating. So if you are creating these thought patterns, you can create something new, right? So if you can recognize and acknowledge that you are a creator first and foremost, right? Then you can realize, okay, so what am I creating, right? I am a creator. I accept that on, right? Be still and know that I am God. So if I know that, right, now I go, I'm creating. What am I creating, right? It's from the thinking stuff to which all things are made, right? So this is through my thought patterns, right? So if I want to shift my current reality, I have to remember when, right? Because that's a past tense, right? But I'm also really excited and looking forward to, right? And that's my day practice that I did today, right? So I'm journaling to reflect on what I want to create. I'm leaving the past in the past. I'm standing powerful in the present, knowing that that's the only place I truly have power is in my present experience. I don't have power any other place but in the present, because I can't do anything to change the past and the future never comes. So it's going to take a practice, right, of mastery of the mind and being able to shut it down when it gets out of hand. Remember what I said, like, when I talked about, that, you putting the mind on a leash. You really have to put the mind on a leash. In terms of freeze, there is a possibility where if somebody goes into a freeze mode, good morning, Mariah, that then they can go into a psychosis. So that's like where they see red or, crimes of passion, those kinds of things. What if being stuck in freeze has had a negative impact? Yes, so freeze is going to create a negative impact, right? And we know that because it's literally just a survival mechanism. It's just a coping mechanism, right? And so um, that's that the fact that you can identify that it has had an impact on career, relationships, etc., that gives you access to change, right? Because now you can see what you don't want, you can see contrast, right? So that would suggest that you're at least out of the freeze mode and at least able to see the impact of going into freeze. And so developing a relationship, right, and more of an archetypal relationship with your survival mechanism, which we'll talk about this week, just so that you're more detached from that emotional state. Now, we have patterns, right? We have behavioral patterns that our defense mechanisms will employ in order to keep our, our things going, our rackets are running, and so, or our software, processing. So, we want to see kind of the lay of the land of where we're at. Yeah. So in that communication, Mariah, and so here's what I say, that, the so your thoughts, right, your words are going to then trigger your emotional states, right? And so then your emotional state are going to feed on themselves, right? So when you think about thoughts of it's too late, right, and it's too much, right, those thoughts automatically are going to trigger what? Fear, anxiety, overwhelm, right? If I think it's too late, right, immediately I'm anxious. And then if I think there's too much and I'm too little, then, so if these are reoccurrent, right, and you can't reframe them out quite easily, you can't be like, I choose to feel, my fear, I choose to feel my overwhelm, whatever, and I give myself permission to, and then I choose to feel something positive. If it doesn't quite resolve itself in a reframe like that, like quickly, that means it's attached to a core belief, which we'll talk about this week. Core beliefs, right, they are almost like anchors, right? And what will happen is that the mind will create all kinds of stories to protect it, right? So for instance, if you have a core belief of I'm not good enough, right, you're going to be overwhelmed because you're not good enough, right? So you can reframe out the, I give myself permission to be overwhelmed. You can do that all day long, right? But that's not the actual cause. The cause is the fact that you don't feel like you're enough. So anything that's bigger than you, that you perceive in your mind, right? Because remember, most of us were brought down, we weren't brought up, right? And so, meaning that we were conditioned as children with negative psychology. We were conditioned only in achievement. So, if you do X, Y, Z, you're a good girl. If you do A, B, and C, you're a bad girl, right? And some of us still hold on to all that guilt. And if we haven't sifted and sorted and processed out what is true for us, we're literally walking around thinking, if I don't get an A, I mean, literally, like, 40 years old walking around, if I don't get an A and a gold star, something's wrong with me, right? And so then, your boss isn't going to give you an A, your wife isn't going to give you a gold star, your husband isn't going to give you, so you're looking for those reward systems that you got as a child. But unfortunately, hey, wireless, unfortunately, we just don't. Maybe we should bring back stickers again. I don't know, maybe that would help. Lollipops or something. So, I mean, I don't recommend food is the thing, but just that's what I'm saying. It's not all that what it seems, and that's why I broke down the mind, all month, right? Because it's complicated, right? It's not just, they make it so they make it absolutely so challenging, right? And we look at both our independent role in our family systems, right? But we also look at our purpose in our family systems, right? So for me, I was really brought in to break cycles in my family system. So I was scapegoated a lot because I was so vocal, right? So I had to really come to terms with, me having wisdom beyond my years, me trusting my wisdom, speaking my truth, lots of those, breaking through all that fawn response, standing in my power, all of those things I had to learn, to get out of that cycle, of thinking that I'm at fault, I'm wrong, I need to be punished. Those are those conversations that happen underneath the surface that you may not be aware of simply because you're, focused on what your conscious mind is telling you, not really present to your subconscious. Hello, good morning. Yay. Oh, yeah, I know. Stickers are so important. I feel like we need to bring stickers back. Yeah, exactly. Well, and Mariah, again, it's how you feel about yourself, right? So if I have a core belief because I've been taught and trained from an early age that I'm no good, that I'm bad, that I'm wrong, that I need to be punished, and I'm not good enough, right? And that's my core belief, right? Now I've trained my subconscious mind in that reality. So now my subconscious mind is the storage unit, right? And that's going to communicate to my conscious mind, who's the security guard. So my security guard has pretty much rewired, or the security guard in the subconscious pretty much thinks that love is being mistreated, right? However your version of being in a family was, that is how now you've built your self-esteem and your self-worth, because that's how the subconscious is developed, right? So not to be doom and gloom with it, right? But that's the reality that we're at, right? And so what happened to us is not our responsibility, but our healing process is. And I know that's a really big pill to swallow, especially when we're in the muck of it and we're going through it. But again, I can tell you, not just from, I'm not on the let them eat cake, right? Like, I'm down here in the trenches with you in terms of I've done this work myself. So I know that it can be challenging, it can be difficult, but you're doing 80% of it, which is showing up, right? So you keep showing up, and we keep working this practice, and we keep, setting these intentions. Eventually, right, you'll find some relief because we're doing different techniques, we're doing different tools. I have also, I have these little courses I've done, a 30 days to emotional healing. I really curated 30 different tasks and tools, right, for, okay, if I have anger, this is what I do for anger. If I need to forgive, this is what I do for forgive. Oh, if I, again, if I have those crazy thoughts, I need to bring out the basket, So it's a course, super low cost, like I think $30-$40, something like that. I'll try, when I do my editing and stuff later today, I'll try to put some links in the bio so you can see. So, and also if you join our community, we have lots of free resources in there. But I say this to say that there is a lot more hope because there's more structure and there's more information out, and there's ways to which that we can, work on really healing ourselves. But we have to do the work and commit ourselves to doing the work. I can tell you, from all shades of messes that I've been over the years, I definitely can attest that I'm the happiest I've ever been. I feel the calmest. My health is where it needs to be, far more mentally, emotionally, spiritually, not just, my weight, but everything, right? Not just one aspect, because really our weight is really just a physical expression of our mental and our emotional state, just like our environment, our physical environment, our home. So if your home is crazy, super cluttered and messy, that's really a manifestation of how our mind is. So all this week, we're going to be unpacking and clearing out the subconscious mind. We're going to be organizing all of the old because it really doesn't serve us anymore. And it has nothing new to say. So we're better off unpacking it and doing a little bit. I know we're early for the spring cleaning, but definitely this is a time to sift and sort. So hopefully by the spring equinox, we can release all of this stuff into the ethers. So yeah, that's pretty much, how it rolls. So you should have finished out your day planning. So remember, we started 15 minutes of movement, 15 minutes of meditation, 15 minutes of journaling, and then 15 minutes of day planning. That's our morning flow. We've concluded it, finished it. I will be on later today, more for our holistic education, and we'll be talking about the subconscious mind. So again, we talk about our experiences in the subconscious mind and how it perceives, right? Our perception, right? This kind of mirroring effect, right? How we perceive, the truth. There's three sides to every story, right? Yours, mine, and the truth. So we'll look at perception and how to break that down. Belief and how we form beliefs. Core beliefs, how we form and determine core beliefs, right? And then defense mechanisms will probably finish out the week. And we'll talk about the role of defense mechanisms, and that will move us into next week, which will be all about the conscious mind and our decision making. So this week will be an interesting week. It'll be a little on the heavier side, I must admit, simply because we're looking at the past and we're figuring out how we organize it. So imagine, again, you are going to your house and you're like, okay, today is the day. I'm going to start to organize my garage. I open up my garage. There's boxes everywhere. There's old furniture. There's papers piled. There's just stuff, right? And so years and years and years of stuff that we've got to figure out a plan, a strategy, a structure to go through and deconstruct and organize, so that there's always a process. So if you're moving or anything like that, you kind of have this process of what you're going to keep, what you're going to throw away, what you're going to donate, that sort of thing. And so think of that in your mind, what you're going to keep, what you're going to give away, right, or donate, and what you're going to just completely get rid of and throw in the trash. So if your family system was not very healthy, it was filled with trauma, they've passed down a lot of their belief systems about themselves, about their experiences, perceptions onto you, and then you take them on because you're such a good child, right? You take them on lovingly, you take on all of their issues, and then you go try to live life with them, and then you keep running into many of the same challenges that they do. So you're faced with an opportunity. You can either transform yourself completely and go, okay, I want to abandon these thoughts that I've learned from years and years and years, and I'm going to start to choose a new story for myself. Or you can keep being in denial and hold on to those old stories, and unfortunately you'll alienate, again, people, places, circumstances, and events from you. Opportunities, they'll be missed, unfortunately. So it's really up to you. It's the cost versus the benefit, the benefit of doing the work. And I will tell you that it is painful, but, right, you get relief. It's not like this where it's just pain, no relief. At least when you're working and you're healing, there is pain involved because you're facing things that you otherwise wouldn't want to face, but there's relief on the other side. So, and the mind, don't listen to anything it says, because it'll say, oh my God, this is too much and I can't, it's very dramatic. Mine, at least, in its own mind, is a legend. It is a Academy Award, all the things, right? Every Oscar, so very dramatic. So, I have to make sure that I check that within myself. So, all right. Yes, exactly. Because I chose, right, what they told me, right, I'm getting that result, right? And that result is a perception that my life is ruined and then it's too late and it's too much. But I recognize now that there is a possibility for something different. And I don't know what that different would be, but I'm open to the possibility, right? So that would be where we would kind of hold it, right? Because when you're in a really overwhelmed state, again, you can't go from overwhelmed, feeling stuck, all the things, go eat worms, to now everything is beautiful and amazing. Like it doesn't work that way. We just have to do kind of that gentle hop up and then hop up and then hop up. It's just It's got to be a real process. So yes, I appreciate you so much, Touted Kisses. Indeed, I kind of look like an NPC when I did that. That was funny. All right, cool. So well, awesome. That concludes our morning flow. I will be on later today, probably around that 5:30 ish area. So definitely tune into that. I'll be streaming on all the platforms that you see me on now, LinkedIn, IG, YouTube, and the TikTok. So awesome. You guys have a wonderful day.